Hello everybody, and we are back. Finally going to be getting into week 1 of year 5 in the Old Dominion Dynasty, taking a look at the top 25 as we start this season up. It's going to be a fun one. ODU's first in the Atlantic Coast Conference, moving away from the Conference USA, given a ranking of 48 out of 126 teams. That's pretty good actually, all things considered. Conference outlook, well, a lot of the experts don't think ODU is going to do very well in their first year in the ACC, but a few results could go our way, and it could be a solid season. It will just depend on a lot of things and a few important games, especially, winning the games that we should win, like Duke. But it's all dependent on those results. The Monarchs expected to be 10th out of 14th overall in the conference. One thing to note, running back David Dixon is on the Heisman watch list going into this season, and if he has a big year, he could very well come into that top 5 at the end of the season, being one of the nation's top running backs. And now, the starting lineups for your Old Dominion Monarchs. And that's your Monarchs for this season. It's going to be Rutgers and Old Dominion. Here we are in New Jersey at High Point Solution Stadium. And ODU has a number of New Jersey natives on their team. Like, one of the big pipelines for ODU is New Jersey, including David Dixon being one of those players out of Wayne, New Jersey. So there could be a little bit of animosity between those New Jersey natives on the Rutgers side and the New Jersey natives here on the ODU side. First possession of the season for the Monarchs, and yes, it's Shane McCarley at quarterback, David Dixon at running back. No real surprises there, and McCarley has not lost as a starter. Remember, he came on in that game against Temple last season, replacing Josh Silva after a poor performance by Silva, took on the starting job and has yet to lose a game, so he's hoping to continue the winning ways, but it's going to be a more difficult season. And starting off with a Big Ten opponent in Rutgers. Not an easy game, but these two teams match up pretty well. Fairly even battle, and here the option pitch to Scott Sullivan, the sophomore running back, who will get a good number of carries this season, even though Dixon is the star player. on the offensive side of the ball. Sullivan will get a number of touches, and here's Dixon right here getting about 10 yards. He's so fast, so elusive. Outstanding running back here, and a nice time-consuming drive to start the game. McCarley has all day to throw and finds freshman receiver Todd Jackson for his first career catch, and it's a touchdown catch. A diving one at that, and that's why ODU recruited Todd Jackson, because he's an acrobatic, athletic receiver, a guy who can come out and do the job right away. And oh my, it's Rashad Coward in on the sack of James Morton. First play offensively for Rutgers is a sack. 3rd and 4. Morton looks to pass, has time to throw, and he's going to find Grant on the sideline there. 11 yards, and so Rutgers bailed out of that situation after the slow start on that sack, but an overthrow by Morton here. He had one-on-one coverage on the outside, just couldn't quite pinpoint his target, so that's a 3rd down situation. Morton going to take off, he fumbles it, recovered, but not going to get the first down. They're going to punt it away to ODU. Monarch ball, McCarley out of the shotgun, and we're going to see a lot more shotgun this year. And look at Todd Jackson, another big play, 50 yards. Huge gain, and the defensive back overran this a little bit. I think he thought the ball was going to keep going, but the ball was actually thrown just a little bit underneath for Jackson to pull it in, and the Oklahoma native having a great start to his career at Old Dominion. He's an outstanding receiver. Dixon, so smooth with the way he runs. He just, there's just not many words to describe what kind of running back he is. He's very complete. McCarley sacked on that play for a loss of 10. ODU would tack on a field goal by Tommy Patrick to take a 10-0 lead here in the second quarter. And here's Ayers on the carry, wrapped up, good defense, good pursuit. That's something you'll expect from an experienced defense. A lot of upperclassmen on the defensive side of the ball for Old Dominion, and that's going to result in a lot of experience. But Dante Ayers gets 20, making up for that no gain on the last play. 1st and 10 at the 25. Ayers gets a handoff, brought down. Oh, what a play by Rashad Coward, who's having a nice start to the season. The senior defensive tackle worked his way into the starting lineup. Did a great job developing over his career. 2nd and 13 for Morton. Going to work a little screen action. The entire defense, save for Matt Williams, goes to the right side of the field. Ayers goes to the left, and Williams got caught up by a blocker, and it's a touchdown for Rutgers. They get themselves on the board. Suddenly a game now, 10-7. ODU's had a nice offensive start to the game, though. If they can keep this momentum up, they'll be able to pinch on another 3 or maybe even 6 points. Todd Jackson gets near the marker. Another catch, and here's Brian Cook. Won't see too much of him out of the fullback position. ODU's going to work a lot of shotgun this year. New offensive coordinator Dan Mullen has instituted a little bit of a different offensive philosophy. Look at Dixon. McCarley extended the play with his legs, finds Dixon open, who goes down the sideline 69 yards to the house. Dixon's first touchdown of the season is a receiving touchdown. What a play. And ODU's new offensive coordinator injecting a new philosophy, a new style to the offense a little bit. They're going to spread you out a little bit more even than before. And Rutgers' drive comes to an end. Lost yardage on that drive. And now punting it away, it's freshman running back Antoine Hopkins. He's the guy who will be handling a lot of the returns this year, both in the punt and kick game. He gets 11. Not a bad return for him. Under 3 minutes to go here in this first half, and Monarchs can tack on more points. Here's Hopkins with his first career carry. 5 yards, and he's a little guy, but he's quick and can be tough to bring down, actually, interestingly enough, here on 2nd and 5. It's Adrian Bush. Hasn't had much playing time. Connor Martin was in that role for a long time at tight end. Now Bush has his opportunity as a senior. 3rd and 6, McCarley's going to extend the play with his legs. Great coverage, but he's going to buy time for Nick Carroll to get separation on that play. And again, McCarley using his legs to buy time for his receivers to get open, because coverage was excellent on that play by Rutgers. It's 1st and goal now from the 2-yard line. Jumbo formation, toss to Dixon. Great block on the outside. Did you see that block? Sets up the touchdown for Dixon. And ODU has opened it up now. Dixon piling on his career rushing touchdown record. With 1 second left here, 24-7 in the first half. Chad Robinson. Oh, he's expected to have another fantastic season for ODU. 24-7 is the halftime score. In the pouring rain, you really couldn't have asked for a better start for the Monarchs this season. We're going to get a little recruiting update here at halftime. And here are the needs this season. Fullback is the most immediate need on offense, because if you look, there aren't that many seniors leaving the team, so we can kind of recruit for the future there. Outside linebacker will need a few. And a little bit more recruiting on defense. But overall, can spread the recruiting out and try and recruit for the future, because we do have a lot of guys coming up through the ranks as freshmen and sophomores this year that will be eventual starters. Fullback Kevin Wesley is the key target at that position. Corey Jones and Marcus Gorman are also guys we're possibly looking at in the fullback role. Always looking for new and better receivers. Ricky Andrews and Chris Johnson, probably long shots for Old Dominion, but they both have fairly high interest in the Monarchs from the start, and there is potential if they continue to keep that interest, if we can reel them in and put them alongside Todd Jackson, among others. At tackle, Michael Maxwell and Robbie Houston could be potential future players. Jermaine Long and EJ Fordinal, maybe not immediate starters, but guys that have futures here. And Joshua Kemp out of Oklahoma. He initially had ODU as #1 school. Very high interest, and look at the kind of player he is. He could be a quarterback. 88 throw accuracy, 85 throw power, and the speed and acceleration speaks for itself. But that's about it for the recruiting side of the ball, at least offensively. We'll look at defensive recruits in the next video for you guys. In the meantime, let's get this second half underway. Tommy Patrick boots it down to about the goal line. Moore's taking it on the return. And linebacker Brian Moore makes the tackle. We might see him a bit filling in if Roshan Doherty needs a rest. There's Briggs. This is a good tight end. Andre Briggs, probably one of the best offensive players for Rutgers. He's great on the edge blocking, and he's actually a talented receiver. And James Morton gets 7 on a little option keeper. Nice job there. 2nd and 5 from the 40-yard line in Monarch territory here. Morton's going to take off, and he's going to get some yardage here. Takes a hit from about 3 Monarch defenders, but it doesn't matter. 15 yards, first down. Morton, not very fast, but when you're not expecting it, he can eat the yardage up quite a bit there. Morris makes the catch here. 14 yards and setting up first down and 10 from just around the 10-yard line. Basically a touchdown is a first down. Look at Morris. Great drive for the Scarlet Knights to open the second half. When it's trailing 17, you need a drive like that to build momentum and try and get back in this game. Handoff to Dixon on ODU's next drive. Only gets 2. Took a shot. Look at this hit. Clean hit, but it was hard. 3rd and 8. McCarley out of the shotgun. 3 wide receivers. Time to throw, but nobody's really open for him. Looking for Lawrence Reese. Reese wore the number 7 last year. This year he wears the number 11. Had a few number changes over his career. Morton's going to take off again. This one, look at the yardage he's eating up. Nobody seems to be able to recognize that he's actually taken off. Great job there. 3rd and 3 now. Ayers gets the handoff, slips through. Looks like he was going to be brought down for a loss instead. Gets the first down. Things are going well. Under center, handoff to Ayers again, and they should just keep going with these kinds of plays. The defense having a hard time against the running game. 2nd and 1 inside the 10, a chance to make this a 1-score game for the Scarlet Knights, and Jack Tocho comes off the edge, stuffs the quarterback for a 3-yard loss. Great job by the former North Carolina State transfer. 3rd and 4, Morton takes off, using his legs in the second half, can't get to the marker. Kevon Walker responsible, and it's a touchdown game now, 24-17. Josh Silva split out wide. A little jet sweep play. Look at this run by number 5. He'll be a fill-in quarterback, but we'll also see him at a number of other positions this season. He's going to be used more as an athlete, meaning move him around, utilize his speed, and also an ability to fill in at defensive back at times. Dixon looked like he was going to be stopped for a loss. Uses his acceleration, his speed to get to that outside. Start of the fourth quarter now. ODU trying to build some offensive momentum. Dixon not stopped, cuts it outside. Nobody's catching him. This looks a lot like that one run we saw last season where it looked like he was going to be stopped and a group of guys instead breaks away. This is what makes him such a great player. He doesn't stop going, and look at the speed. Nobody's even close to him. And he gets in the end zone, a huge play of 53 yards. And now that separates these two teams 31-17. Rutgers has some work to do, but still plenty of time. 3 timeouts still. So, game's not over yet. Rutgers under center now from Morton. And look at the pursuit to the ball. Kavon Walker gets there, a loss of 2. Dante Ayers going nowhere. Defense has to tighten up. Going for it on 4th down at midfield. Rutgers looking to throw. And he's got Ayers, but Ayers doesn't have enough room on the sideline. Steps out of bounds short. And a chance for Old Dominion to really put this one away. Dixon, he is running so well right now. 14 yards, just running through tackles. What a day for the potential Heisman candidate. Sullivan was looking for a block upfield. That was David Flores, who did not make the block. So it will be a Tommy Patrick field goal. That one will go up through, no problem. It's good. So 34-17, 3.5 minutes to go. And Morton's going to take off. But look at this. Rashad Coward with help of John Jordan. And Coward, what an excellent day. 4 tackles. All of them were for a loss. And 2 of those were sacks. Defensive tackle, outstanding job. 2nd and 5. A lot of backup defenders in for ODU. And it's Jake Morris. They get one back. ODU did tack on a field goal prior to this as 37-24. 2 timeouts for Rutgers on 3rd down here. If Old Dominion gets the 1st down, it will be officially game. And that's Scott Sullivan on the run. 9 yards for number 9. And that's it. A great start to the season as Old Dominion goes into New Jersey and gets a win over Rutgers out of the Big Ten. 1-0. And offensively really was the shining point in this game. McCarley 13 of 21, 247 yards and a couple of touchdowns. No interceptions. Freshman quarterback Shane White did come in for a few plays to throw a couple passes, didn't complete any. But Dixon 18 carries, 154 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He is ridiculous. An outstanding debut for freshman receiver Todd Jackson. And everything going well right now for Old Dominion. It's a great start to the season. I mean, Rutgers is a pretty good team. They're not the best, but you go on the road, you come off with a victory like that, and you definitely feel good about where this team can go. 3 for 3 by Tommy Patrick on field goals, long of 38. He didn't have to kick any real long field goals. But a nice game overall for the Monarchs. James Morton, 3 touchdowns, 250 yards, but he was sacked 4 times, and when it really mattered, couldn't quite get it done for Rutgers. All in all, though, Jake Morris, 7 catches, 112 yards. He was a real problem for the ODU defense. But again, didn't really matter. 37-24 is what matters at this point. And very optimistic about where this team can go, but tougher games lie ahead for the Monarchs. It won't be easy by any means, but this is definitely a great start. Needed this win. Needed to get ahead of the game. And Old Dominion, 467 yards of total offense. Pretty balanced. 220 on the ground, 247 through the air. Continuing, great job on 3rd downs, 8 of 12. Outstanding. No turnovers by either side, actually, surprisingly. So that was an interesting development. That's it. We're going to go in next week against number 18 Virginia Tech and the Monarchs' home opener and conference opener. It will be a fun one against in-state rival Virginia Tech. I'll see you then.